All right, everyone. I got a really good pitch for you, and I just have to get it off my chest because I just can't keep this to myself anymore. I have to let the world know about this great idea for a movie I had. Game changing, going to be the best thing you've ever seen. Do you remember Dracula? What if he was a toxic boss? And his, servant Renfield, what if he needed help to get away from that abusive relationship? Doesn't that sound like the best SNL sketch you've ever heard of? Let me rephrase that. Doesn't that sound like the best modern SNL sketch you ever heard of? Let me rephrase that. Doesn't that sound like a really mediocre modern SNL sketch from a guy who made a Lego movie and worked on Robot Chicken? It's Renfield. Oh, Renfield. Here it is, folks. This is the latest in Universal's pretty interesting track record of mid-budgeted movies that are kind of funny, kind of violent and R-rated, because we had Cocaine Bear recently, we had Violent Night in December, and both of those, fine. I did not like Cocaine Bear. I didn't really like Violent Night that much, but it was kind of okay. I guess, was Megan a Universal thing? I think it was in association with Universal. But Renfield's the next one. What if Dracula was a toxic boss? Could you imagine such a reality where Dracula, Lord of Darkness, Prince of Despair, or whatever you want to call him, was a toxic boss? Wouldn't that be funny for about 7 minutes on a YouTube video? Oh man, it's Renfield. Okay, Nicholas Holt's Renfield. Robert Montague Renfield, is that it? Whatever. Yeah, there it is. So this is out this week. You probably haven't seen it because nobody went to watch it. And the Mario movie triumphed over everything again. But Nicholas Hoult plays Renfield. He's this guy who works for Dracula, and it's 2023. And he's like, I have to get out of this toxic relationship. My boss is abusive and manipulative, and I don't want to serve the Dark Lord anymore. It's funny. It's funny. What it's doing is funny. It's a joke. Do you get it? It's like, what if we had Renfield sit in for a codependency meeting and it was funny? Oh man, bad movie. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. One of the worst movies I have seen in a very long time. This upset me on almost every conceivable level. I can't even pretend to think this is funny. The concept alone is so uninteresting. Again, it is that thing where it's a sketch show comedy. It's like, what if we had Dracula as we know him doing a parody of What We Do in the Shadows for a minute? It feels like a parody of the parody show What We Do in the Shadows, where nothing feels real or interesting and everything is just stupid. It is so stupid. And not even funny stupid where we're laughing at the insanity or how dumb it is. There are the occasional joke, and they're just not funny. This is an egregious looking movie, and it upsets me to no end. Chris McKay, I have no real thoughts about you as a creator or director. I'm sure you're fine. I was surprised, because I knew nothing about this film going into it, to see Robert Kirkman worked on the story. And I'm like, that tracks, because I don't like the way it looks or is written. It is a very, very, very poor script. One of the most egregiously miserable and bland and pathetic scripts I've ever seen. Just jokes that are so transparent and lazy and uninteresting. And the worst compliment I can give this movie is it looks as interesting as Morbius. And what I mean by that is Morbius had some really shitty camera movements, and so does this movie. What a bizarre choice of camera movements for a lot of this. Slow-mo and weird moments, just shaky cam and some stuff, zoom ins and zoom outs, and everything just sucked. A really dumb idea for a narration. I get the idea for the narration. What I don't understand is why you felt the need to explain to us what was happening as if it's some prolific work that only thoughtful or mindful people will understand. It's transparent. We get it. Renfield's upset. He's a little twitchy and weird boy. And I can't hate Nicholas Hoult for anything. We never really found a box to put him in Hollywood. He's kind of just been a goofball making weird goofy stuff. And this is a comedy, and I guess he's kind of a comedy guy. So you could put him in the comedy box, but nothing else about it's really funny. He's given a really interesting performance, and when he's allowed to be I'm a guy from the past trying to live in the modern day. He's given something fun to do. He looks like he's having fun and he's enjoying himself and is given the opportunity to shine. But then it's just like he's bogged down by these other egregiously bad performances that are upsetting and annoying on every conceivable level. I don't even love his performance. He is the best part of this movie because at least he's trying to be sincere, and you buy that this guy is kind of like from the 1800s, knows what a Dracula is, and is upset with himself. Like, you buy that about his performance, but it's weird. Like, he has to eat bugs to get his power, which, is that a thing? I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's just that thing. Oh, it turns. I can't believe what happens in this movie, because this movie turns into the good guy has to fight a counterpart with the same powers as him. In this movie, could you imagine? Here's what happened. I don't want to spoil any about this like 93-minute movie, but Dracula teams up with the local mafia to take down Renfield and a cop. Yeah. What is happening? There is so much just bad stuff about this script. What is Awkwafina doing here? I understand putting her in a role this similar. Like, if you want to do this right, go more comedy based. Don't make this like some weird melodramatic thing where Awkwafina's character is like longing to get like this one mobster named Tony Lobo because he killed her dad and now her sister works in the FBI. She can't pull it off. I'm an Awkwafina supporter, and I love her, and she's a talented young lady. She cannot pull off the sincere cop. There is nothing physical about Awkwafina that screams, that's a police officer. That is just a woman screaming at everybody in a bunch of weird clothing. It's insane. And all of the cops are like the worst written cops I've ever seen. They show up to random places. They come down different streets and like just form around one person. I do not understand how anything gets done in this town because the police are terrible and annoying and bought by the mob, and the mob just sucks. I hate the mob so much. What is Ben Schwartz doing here? Just giving a terrible performance, a loud performance, and it's just Benny doing his thing. But his thing here in this formula, it makes me sick, and it's ugly. Oh my goodness, Nicolas Cage. This is okay. The thing about this movie is it is sold on the premise you're coming to see Nicolas Cage do as Dracula. For some reason, this is a sequel to the original Dracula film with Bela Lugosi. Don't ask me why. It just is, because we did like a reenactment shot from the original movie at the beginning in a narration, in an egregious narration where it's just like, maybe I should go back and tell you like what really happened. Like, okay, Renfield, like nobody watching this movie doesn't know what's going on, right? Like, we all know what Dracula is. We get it, dude. Like, the script feels like it's written. If you did this script for Hotel Transylvania, like that kind of like PG stupid Dracula, I'd buy it more. Instead, Renfield rips limbs off with the ugliest, stupidest, most egregiously ugly, annoying, fake, ugly blood. I hate the blood in this. It looks like it wants to be the Kingsman. Do you remember when the Kingsman's like, what if like fighting looked like insane and was like a spectacle? What if this was just like a fire hydrant that went psh, psh, and it sucks. Terrible. Back to Nicolas Cage. What are you doing, dude? Over the top to the point where it just becomes like Nandor in What We Do in the Shadows, where you're doing such a weird accent thing. You're putting afflictions on the wrong words. Everything sucks. Oh, it is a brutal movie, and it looks bad. The lighting is so weird. The color choices don't work. It's so stupid. I really can't see anything about this film that would make somebody go, good Dracula, good comedy, good action movie, good mafia movie. It is painful. It feels like if you mixed What We Do in the Shadows with a bad writer from SNL working with the budget of a Deadpool movie to make Nicolas Cage important, and you combined all those into one blender, and the blender blew up and killed the writer, and the director just drank some of it, and we're just like, well, Dracula, insanity, what is going on? I dislike this immensely. It is a painful watch, and I guess the one thing I do like is that we do have another attempt at a Dracula movie this year because The Last Voyage of the Demeter comes out this year, and that I'm like, oh, that feels like an actual tone that works for this. This isn't like, you know how like all like those comedy guys will sometimes do like a genre flick for no reason. It feels like an early 2000s like genre flick with like you could like pin out the characters if it was like, I guess Adam Sandler did do his Dracula, but I hate all of this. It is bad and unfunny and crude in all the wrong ways. And Nicholas Hoult does wear a couple of really nice sweaters, but the powers don't make any sense. The camera work is ugly. The story sucks. The narration is bad. The actors are annoying. You're not gonna come out of this movie liking anybody more. You're gonna hate them all a little bit more than you did before because this shouldn't have been released. I should have went to see The Pope's Exorcist, which was another option I could have went to, but I'm like, Dracula, that'll be fun. I like Drac. So Renfield, I am going to give a 3 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you in the next one, hopefully for a better Dracula movie. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.